Guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what drives avoidance to avoid. This is a deeper insight that I popped up into my consciousness today that I wanted to share with you guys. Watch this video. Everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with us for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. Let's dive in. First, I want to let you know my Patreon link. If you are a patron, I will be going over there after this video releases to write out all of your worksheets that you need to do to anchor this learning to go deeper. If you're not a member and you wish to join, please go to this link. It's $10 a month and you get all the videos, all the worksheets on the video. And if it's $20 a month, you also get to email me questions. So kind of a fun thing to do. If you can't do coaching, this is kind of the next best thing. So check that out, please. Also, of course, before we start, Inner Work starts November 7th. That is 8 weeks with me personally, 90 minutes a week. 3 other people. If you want to do Inner Work and dive deep, join me November 7th. Open for enrollment. And last but not least, Emotional Rehab, the class everyone needs to do, starts for the last time this year, December 1st. Diving in. So, I love talking about this subject because it makes so much sense the more you dissect it. And what people usually do is they say, okay, you're an avoidant personality, means you avoid intimacy. But so many people forget to see why that is. One thing I know about avoidance is they don't not like intimacy. But this is the piece that I really hit on today in one of my groups. It's not that they don't want it. If you saw my last video, it's about craving intimacy and also fearing it. It's not that they don't want it. What a lot of people will say to me is, when I'm in a relationship or I'm around someone I think I need to take care of or cater to their emotional needs, right? Empaths and highly sensitive people do this a lot. If you don't have really strong inner, outer, and energetic boundaries, you're going to cater to someone's needs. It's going to take from you. And there's a very specific reason why. And I've been talking to people about this, and every single person I say this to, they're like, oh shit. So I want to see if this lands for you. So often, many of us who are healers, who are like inborn sort of feelers, right? The highly sensitive, the empaths, we had to be our parents' parent a lot of the time. We have over responsibility because we were made to feel like we're responsible for how you feel. Hello, the tables were turned, wrong direction. So many of us were born into families with emotionally immature parents or parents that just didn't do a whole lot of inner work, which most of them didn't back then, right? So there was no YouTube. There weren't like self-help books every other corner of the block. So the reality, oh yeah, and there was no social media. So all good reasons why they didn't do the work. However, we've taken on a lot of that and just accepted it as okay. So a lot of us tend to avoid or feel better out of relationships because we can actually focus on ourselves and parent ourselves and mother ourselves and be with our own emotions. We can emote with ourselves. We're not avoiding ourselves. We start to avoid others so we don't have to avoid ourselves. It's a boundary needed, but it's also an inner child issue that has not been upgraded. It hasn't matured to understand that now I can make the choice if I want to allow myself to parent others naturally or not. You can notice it like this. I have this in me too, okay? I have what I would call kind of a disorganized attachment up until I got the secure attachment, which took me many years to work on. But before I had a secure attachment with myself and others, I had more of a disorganized, where sometimes, what just happened to my lighting? We're so organic here. Sometimes I would be anxiously attached. Other times I'd be avoidant. So you're like, damn, I don't know what I'm going to get from her today. And disorganized comes from parents that are inconsistent, a childhood that wasn't super solid and grounded in a foundation that is mirroring and all those things. We can have disorganized. So I've had a bit of the avoidant as well. And what it means is I'm going to avoid that so I don't have to lose myself because I don't yet have those boundaries, because as kids, we weren't allowed to have those boundaries. We can give those to ourselves now. So we avoid, so we don't have to force ourselves to leave ourselves to be there for other, even if we love them. We need to learn how to balance it. We need to learn that I can actually be in a relationship when I have badass boundaries and I can still get all my needs met or ask for them all. I don't have to give up everything for someone else. I don't have to parent someone or do something before I'm ready. One of my inner child, I don't want to say wounds, one of my inner child sort of messages that was coming out a lot to me as I was healing her was this fear of not being ready yet for something. I'm not ready yet. I'm not capable yet. And I followed it back, right? I did the healing of memories. I did all the inners. And I followed that back to me being a kid and having too much responsibility emotionally before I was ready. So I would be terrified of responsibility at one point in my life because I'm like, I can't handle it. And that was never the truth. I mean, I handle a lot, right? I can do a lot. I can be responsible for a lot. But it was the fear, not the reality, from the inner child that said, I'm too young for this. I don't know how to deal with all these overwhelming emotions that I'm taking on from others because I'm a freaking empath. And I didn't know how to have the boundaries yet. You know what I'm talking about? So if you find yourself avoidant or with an avoidant, please know they are afraid of losing their power, losing their autonomy. It's not really your fault. It's them saying to themselves, if I'm with the other, I have to leave myself. You can say to them, let me suggest some videos on boundaries. They can do my boundaries bootcamp course. That's open right now. Inner, outer, and energetic boundaries. If you can help them understand that they have to look at, or you have to look at, what is the guilt I have for feeling like I want to stay with myself and be with you. I want to know how many of you guys are watching this and like, oh my God, I get in a relationship and I just, unconsciously think I have to be there for them all the time and think about them all the time. That's an insecure attachment. A very securely attached couple is people who have their boundaries, know their needs, feel themselves, know themselves, and honor the other, but don't have to be enmeshed and don't have to be avoidant. We're two autonomous humans who share in our experiences, who share in our love, who share in our lifestyle and our growth, but we don't have to give up ourselves for that in an unhealthy way. Compromise is healthy in certain ways, right? But we don't have to give up taking care of our own emotions. It's so funny. I remember this one time in my life, I remember thinking, oh my God, I totally get why I would have relief when I would break up with someone or we'd have a fight or whatever. I'd have relief. And I thought this was so funny. And I would have relief because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to be busy mothering them. And I had no idea I was doing that because I found myself at that age when I was going through this to be emotionally immature. I really thought I was emotionally immature. But looking back, of course I was. I didn't have any more emotional capacity for me. It was always trying to do things for others or mother others. And really, when I turned that around and I said, Candace, it's okay to just be your own mother, self-parent. It's okay to just have your inner mother for you. You don't have to mother everyone anymore. Well, now look at me. It's like, all my clients are my kids. That's what I say. All your inner children, I love them, right? But it's different. When you have boundaries, you have a bigger capacity to be with and mirror and share and help other people heal this part of themselves when you've healed your own. So think about it. When you're avoiding, what are you actually trying to run from? I'm going to guarantee you're trying to not lose your power, not lose your energy, not lose a sense of self, not lose a sense of freedom. But you can keep all of that and still be connected to other. I'd love to know hi, sweetheart. My doggy's right here. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts on this. Please check all the links that I mentioned earlier. Please comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. And I'll see you guys next week.